We're going to start by creating an estimate. For the most part, people will start with an estimate. They'll select the customer. They'll select the product. We'll do the same glass fountain. They'll put the quantity. Let's say that's 2. They'll change the price. Let's say that's $2.75. And that's my estimate. Now, unfortunately, there's no report that tells me that 2 out of the 20 that I have in stock are reserved to a customer or anything like that. That's the function of a sales order. Unfortunately, we don't have such a thing in QuickBooks at the moment, the QuickBooks Online at the moment. So I'm going to date this February 24th and then click on save. Now, once the estimate is approved, or the client says, yeah, go ahead, let's go ahead and do this, you're either going to purchase the item if you don't have it in stock, and that's what this little checkbox here that says copy the purchase order is for, or you can draw from inventory. If you actually hover your mouse over the 2, you see right there over the 2, you see a tooltip that says quantity on hand 2, or reorder point 20, and it says low. That means it's very close to reorder point or at reorder point. So that tooltip is really, really awesome. It gives you an idea more or less where you stand. So let me go ahead and approve this estimate, and I'm going to hit save. Okay, there we go. And I'll close that. And then the next step would be normally to invoice it if I'm drawing from my stock. But let's say that for whatever reason, I'm not going to draw from my stock. I'm actually going to order this. So the next step would be creating a purchase order to order some more of the items. And I'll use, the way I'll do the example is I'm going to go back to the estimate, and I'm going to make this a bigger quantity. I'm going to make this 40. That way we know for a fact that we're short, right? That way we know for a fact that we have to order at least 20 more to get fully restocked. So I'm changing this to 40 just to do the example. And then I'm going to use the copy purchase order button here to create a purchase order just for this item. However, at this point, I'm going to decide that I want more than 40 because I want to have excess of inventory. I'm going to put there 65. So I'm ordering a lot more than what I was required to do. And then I'm going to pick the vendor or where I'm buying this from. So I'm ordering an additional 65 from the 20 that I have in stock. And once I receive it, I should have a total of 85. So let's say we put this order back in February 27th. And we click on save. So that's the next step. So we have the estimate, then we have the purchase order. Then at some point we need to receive the bill. We have to receive that bill. And let's say, for example, that they were only able to ship us 50 out of the 65. So we're going to do a partial receipt of that bill. So we're going to click on this button here that says copy to bill. Okay, and automatically a bill is going to be created with all the items. So all I have to do at this point is modify the quantity to the actual amount that I got. Okay, so I'm going to change this to 50. And normally I make sure that in the description somewhere I put partial PO received. Okay, I also like to name the PO number. So I'm going to click on the purchase order link in there. And I'm actually going to command click with a Mac, so it opens up a new window because I don't want to close my bill window because I just want to capture the purchase order number. Where's my purchase order number? Did it go anywhere? Okay, there it is, 1003. So I actually like to copy that purchase order number and put it down here. Just trust me, it becomes easier when you record that purchase order number in the memo somewhere. So I'm putting there purchase order number 1003, although in the link section, I can click and I link to it, but I like to have it in there. And then the bill number would be whatever number you get from your vendor. So that's not something you copy or anything like that. So I'm going to go ahead and click on save and close. And now I should have 70 in stock. So I'm going to click on the reports menu. And then I'm going to go down to my inventory report list. There you go. Sorry. Products and services list. So I click on products and services list. And then I will have a list of all my products and services and the quantity that I have on hand and the price. If I click on the gear menu on the top, I can click on products and services, and I can go into this place, and I can also see my quantity on hand. I can see my reorder point. I can see my sales price. I can see my cost. Okay, so that was the proper workflow of creating a purchase order and receiving it. Now what I need to do is I need to actually sell it. So I'm going to click on the gear menu on the top, not the gear menu, the quick create button, and go to invoice. Let's say I'm ready to ship the product. and I'll select the customer that I'm shipping to or selling to. And then on the right, I'm going to have the drawer pop up and tell me, hey, by the way, you may have some open estimates in this case. I don't know why it's not showing. Let me see. Was it the right customer? No. Let me close out of this, and I'm actually going to go to the estimate itself. So I'm going to go into the estimate itself, and I'm going to click accepted by. Let's do HG, and let's accept this. I say we should be good to go with this one. And there may be one little setting that I have to click, because this is a brand new file. You go to the gear menu, go to account and settings, and let me go to advanced, and let me go here where it says copy estimates to invoices. Really, really important. I hadn't checked it, so I can't go from estimate to invoice. Very, very important. So let me click on save. So I should have done that before, but doing it now, didn't realize it. So let's try that again. Let's go to invoice and select the customer, and now my estimate should pop up. There it is. Okay, so there's my estimate. So now I can pick that estimate, click on open. Okay, and that will bring over the estimate. Whoops, not open. That's not what I wanted to do. Try that again. Invoice, and do international customer. Not open. Sorry, I have to click on add. So I click on add. That will bring in that information. If I hover my mouse over the quantity, you see exactly how much I have in quantity on hand and how much I'm attempting to sell. So we're all good in that sense. And then I can click on save. And I have now sold the item. So now when I go back into my products and services list, I should have 30 in stock at the moment. Okay, so that's basically the whole purchase order workflow. One of the limitations that we still have is we can't do progress invoicing, so we can't partially invoice from an estimate, although it's on beta and it's going to be released not too long, not in a couple months probably, or maybe a couple weeks. But right now we have no way to track, hey, how much of that original shipment the client wanted we have actually fulfilled. So right now we're working in a very binary choice, estimate, invoice, which I dislike. I think I would have preferred to have a sales order. But I'll do one more thing real quick because it's just so quick, which is reorder points. I'm going to click on the edit button here for the item, and notice that the item has a reorder point of 20. Okay, let's say I were to make this a reorder point of 50. Okay, so I have 30 in stock, but the reorder point is 50. So what would happen is QuickBooks will actually tell me, it will mark it orange, letting me know, hey, you are low in stock. As a matter of fact, there's a big orange button on the top right where if I click on that, it filters only to the ones that are low stock. And low stock means it's under their reorder point. And then hidden in this edit button in the drop down, there's a little link that says reorder. It's hidden deep in there. A lot of folks don't know it's there. So I'm going to click on reorder, and that will basically open a purchase order and add the quantity, the item automatically in it. So I can then come in here, select my vendor, my item's already selected, just put the quantity that I want to do. And you can see it right there by just with the tooltip. You see that the reorder point is 50 and the quantity on hand is 30. So you can choose whatever you want to order and click save and close. So that's a little tiny shortcut that sends me straight into the purchase order screen to reorder, to create the purchase order. And then obviously I have to receive the purchase order once the inventory comes in, et cetera, et cetera.